and natural gas, the Montana Power Company. And by Whalen Tire, service first, quality always. Across Montana, it's Whalen Tire. Good evening and welcome all over Montana to the University of Montana and Dahlberg Arena for basketball action featuring the Montana Grizzlies and the Gonzaga Zags, the Bulldogs of Gonzaga. Welcome back to Dahlberg Arena. Last year we saw these two teams open up in a great one here at Dahlberg Arena, the opening of Dahlberg Arena. And Gene McNulty-King joins myself, Ron Davis, here on the floor. And Gene, last year it was the opening of the Dahlberg, and it was a great opening. This year it's just going to be great basketball.
Yeah, it is. I know the fans are looking forward to it. We got two great teams playing. Gonzaga's ranked nationally again after going to the Sweet 16 last year. We're just looking for a good battle.
And Gene, last year the slam dunks at Gonzaga rocked Dahlberg Arena. There's a lot of serious physical basketball played here.
There is, and I expect a few more of those slam dunks. As we know, I think Calgary had 4 in the second half against Washington in their previous game.
It's going to be a great night for basketball. A whole lot of fun going on here as Gonzaga gets ready to take on the tough squad from Montana. It should be a good one. It's going to be a scrappy night. The Grizzlies come in, they play tough basketball, 3-2. I think they'll get it done.
I do. You know, at home crowd, it's always great to play here in Missoula, and it's one of the toughest places to play. So we'll look forward to a great ball game.
And we have a big crowd joining us in Spokane tonight. Say hello to everybody at KRKV in Spokane. Nice to have you along to watch your Zag. You're not in the kennel tonight, though. You're at Dahlberg Arena in Montana. Gene McNulty and I will have the call for you coming up. So stay with us. It's a great night for Wednesday night basketball right here.
Free from icy streams high in the Rocky Mountains. A clean and natural source of nourishment for people, crops, and livestock. Electricity. Renewable energy to run factories, farms, and homes. Hydropower. From our family to yours. PPL Montana. Montana values. Global resources.
Food, shelter, heat. Which does your family need least? The Universal System Benefits Charge funds programs to help low-income families pay heating bills and weatherize their homes.
Great, what's
Because there are questions that have no answer.
Daddy,
The USBC on your Montana power bill. It benefits all of us.
Need to change something? Missoula Classified. There you gotta go, here you gotta find it. Need something useful? Missoula Classified. Where you gotta go, here you gotta have it.
AT&T's broadband technology delivers over 100 channels with thousands of hours of programming, featuring an enormous selection of movies directly into millions of homes every day. You want a little butter with that?
Whenever you travel to Missoula, there are now 2 great reasons to stay at the best inns. The best in North on Reserve and the best in South on Brooks. Whichever place you choose, you're at a place where the mountains meet the sky and the hospitality is top rated. We offer nicely appointed rooms and a deluxe continental breakfast each morning. And a conference center that can host up to 250 people. We're also introducing our new evergreen rooms for the most health-conscious, environmentally sensitive travelers. All in all, you'll find the best inns to be your best choice in Missoula.
And welcome back to Dahlberg Arena as we get ready for tonight's matchup. The Zags of Gonzaga against the Montana Grizzlies. And you can guess the score. That's right. Go to the website you see at the bottom, www.omegatvp.com, and guess the final score of tonight's ballgame. Do that by halftime, and you may be the big winner of that big prize package you see on the screen. The certificate from Universal Athletics, of course, Whalen Tire, $100 there. Montana Magazine, a 1-year subscription. The C.M. Russell print, Montana History Society donation. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So guess the score at www.omegatvp.com. Sportsnet.com. And back here at Dahlberg, let's take a look at the starting lineups here for tonight's ball game. First off, for the visiting Bulldogs of Gonzaga, Gene, a pretty good team, and they're led by Casey Calvary, one of the best 6'8" players in the United States.
I think everybody knows his name, as he's probably going to go in the NBA draft. Pretty exciting to be able to watch him play.
Jimmy Trico, Blake Stepp, Alex Hernandez, and Mark Spink. And then out a whole new starting lineup except for Casey for the Bulldogs, who of course made it to the Sweet 16 last year.
Lost out.
Now here's the Grizzlies, homestanding Grizzlies squad. Of course, they're led by Jared Buckmaster. Also Dan Trammell, the transfer, who's been doing some good things for him. Travis Greenwald, Ryan Slider, and Shane Christensen back and hopefully staying healthy at point guard.
Absolutely. Great lineup, and they're playing well at 4-2.
Actually, the Grizz are 3-2 and 4-1 for Gonzaga.
Exactly what I meant.
Okay. Gene, the keys
Maybe
to
I was
tonight's...
predicting the game tonight, Ron.
Okay. The keys to tonight's game here at Dahlberg Arena. First off, let's take a look at what Gonzaga needs to do here tonight.
Got a nice opportunity to talk to the coaching staff. Defensively, they need to shut down Buckmaster. They pointed out how well Buckmaster is shooting. They need to force Montana's big guys to score over their guys inside. Offensively, they want to attack the zone with an inside-out action. They really want to look at pushing the ball up and down the court. There you get a nice look at Coach Mark Pugh. Second year as head coach at Gonzaga.
He's been there for a while as assistant now.
Yeah,
leading them
10 years as an assistant.
Now for the Grizzlies, what do we see as the keys of the game in this game?
Obviously, Coach Holst says they need to defend Calvary and Stepp. Stepp is their new freshman sensation. There you see the officials, Bobby Jacobs, Bill Kennedy, and Bobby McCroy. They want to really use an inside-out philosophy. They want to make them beat them from the outside. So they're really going to pack it in and then push it out. They're a great rebounding team. They really need to rebound defensively as well as offensively. They want to have offensive tempo, and they want to run their game. They want to have poise and play like the Grizzlies can play, in his words.
You know, last year was this game that really kind of got the Grizzlies going in the right direction because they really didn't have a team image. They really didn't have a strong team effort. And they came and played Gonzaga and made them believe in themselves, and they became a better team because of it.
They sure did, as they went in and they won the conference, regular series conference. There you see, Gonzaga leads 26-16. Gonzaga has won the last 3 times that they've met, so I'm sure Montana's looking for a little bit of revenge.
But you know, and for Gonzaga, last year they came in here in their opener, and they found out how they were going to match up, some of the new guys, some of the seniors coming out. But for the Grizzlies, it was basically their season was made by this game.
I think you're right, and that just provided the momentum. You know, they play against a nationally ranked team, and they played well. Last year's final was 76-61 here, and we're underway. And
Trammell will win the jump for the Grizzlies. So Montana will have the ball to start. Again, welcome everybody along. Joining us over in Spokane. It's nice to have you along. Ron Davis, Gene McNulty King with all the excitement from Dahlberg Arena. The Zags taking on Montana Grizzlies. It's not the Kennel, but I'll tell you what, there's a packed house, and they're a little bit loud tonight. There's Slider trying to get inside. Grizz being patient. Not really want to go now. Trammell's going to take it in. Won't go, but gets his own board. Big offensive board, puts it back. And Calvary will bring it away. Right away down the floor, we got a foul and a whistle, and a foul going to be called on Kyle Keys from Kirkland, Washington. The 6'1" senior.
The last possession, moving the ball around really, really well. Here you get another look at the foul off the ball. It almost looked as though the Grizz were a little nervous to shoot. No one really wants to put it up. It's great team ball, great movement, but someone's got to go in and take that shot.
It almost looked like somebody was afraid to go in and test Casey Calvary.
Exactly.
It was like, all right, we know he's in here somewhere. Don't let him swat it away, because he averages 2 blocks a game. That's pretty big.
That's intimidating.
Going the other way, Slider for 3. And we're going to have a push foul down underneath. Nope, a hold going to be called on the Zags. Mark Spink, the 6'8" senior from Bellingham, Washington, picks up his first. So he'll pick up number 1. Jimmy Trico has 1 as well, so 2 team fouls. And the Grizzlies looking for their first point of the ball game. Again, Dahlberg Arena on this Wednesday night. Trammell takes it back inside. Nice move against Casey Calvary, and he used good body position there, Gene.
And that's what the Grizz are going to need. You know, Montana needs to establish that inside game, not be intimidated by the quality of the team they're playing, and just come out and play ball.
The Grizz in that 2-3 zone that was very powerful. Now they look like they pop back out. Calvary from the free throw line. His first shot won't go. Cleared away for the Grizzlies by Greenwald. And Slider again. Nice pass underneath the Trammell. I don't think he meant it to be a pass, though, did he? And the Grizz working hard inside, Gene.
Here you get another look at Dan Trammell, the JC transfer
He
from
gets,
Diablo Valley College in Pleasant Hill, California. Been a great addition to the Montana squad.
they expect big things out of him. And he's going to try her again, and his turnaround will go this time, and he hits the ground, but give him 4 points, and the Grizzlies lead 4-0.
And Gonzaga says right off they need to make our Montana's big boys score over them. And they've already proven they can do that, so they're getting the momentum early on.
And we're going to have a foul down underneath on the Grizzlies, a little pushing foul down on the bottom side. And I believe the foul is going to be called on number 40, and that will be Travis Greenwald picking up his first. For the Bulldogs and the Zags, here you see Blake Stepp. This young man's a true freshman from Eugene, Oregon. Played for his dad in Eugene, was Mr. Basketball there. The shot's up from the corner, won't go, but a nice putback by Mark Fink. The senior gets 2 to get the Zags on the board.
Mark's really come in and started, really contributing this year. Last year, I think he came off the bench quite a bit. He's starting this year. He didn't start for the starting. He didn't line up until he was a senior in high school.
The ball's going to be knocked loose, and we're going to have a foul on the dive for it. Casey Calvary going to be whistled. Has a little tackle football going on out there.
There you get another look at the foul. Just great hustle on both parts. And, tackle.
See a lot of that here is, of course, the Grizzlies of Montana will be playing in the semifinals of the NCAA Division I AA football championships this Saturday here against a team from Appalachian State. And, of course, we'll talk to the head coach of the Grizzlies, Coach Joe Glenn, at halftime here today. And we got a little foul down underneath going to be called on the Grizzlies. I believe Trammell's going to be called.
A little throwing of a bow.
Called for the elbow, and now the foul's going both ways here, Gene.
I think the refs are trying to establish control right off. They don't want the game to get out of control. It can happen easily. They want a clean, hard-fought game.
Stepp will bring it down and set it up for Gonzaga's Bulldogs. They've been doing pretty well from the outside. They had a great game from the outside against Arizona when they almost took number 5 Arizona down. Here's the big guy, Casey Calvary from way downtown. The 6'8 senior, who everybody knows can fight inside, knocks the tray and puts Gonzaga out in front.
I'll kind of stop you in your tracks. You keep him outside. You think we're safe, and he knocks down the 3.
You don't want to leave him alone. Christensen on the move, the shake and bake. Won't go. The follow, put back by Slider. Ryan Slider had great position on the rebound and didn't even, just tipped it right back in. Back out. Spink eyes the 3, but he does not look like he wants that, Chief.
I wouldn't leave them open for the 3, though, as they hit, I believe, 11.
Well, Trico just hits 1. So Trico with the second 3 for the Zags.
And I believe that is Jimmy Trico's first points of the season.
He was looking yet to score this year.
He was looking for his first bucket, and there he got it.
He got it on that one. So Trico with 3 for the season now. And the Grizzlies trailing now 8-6 to the Zags. Buckmaster, who likes to rip the 3, and he does. Jared Buckmaster averaging 17.2 points a game, and most of that comes on 3-pointers. Led the conference in 3-pointers last year. Calvary's going to answer with 1, won't happen. Rebound, though, is going to be put back up. Trico won't go, and a jump ball. And we've got ourselves a little scrim going on down there into the basket.
Speaking of Buckmaster leading the conference, he actually was 11th in the nation last year in three-point percentage.
Let's take a look at this accident down underneath the hoop as they're all going down. Everybody's on the floor. WWF gets no better than this.
And what did we get out of that?
It's going to be the ball goes to Gonzaga
ball.
underneath. No fouls, no nothing, just Gonzaga's ball. Nice move, spin down on the baseline, but a follow-up. Oh, too much. And the Grizzlies are going to clear it away, but coming down with it is Mark Spink. I thought he expected somebody to foul him.
He did, and he should have just put that right back up when he first got it. He had it wide open, and then he came down, let defense get on him. And
Greenwald can't get it to go, and down underneath. Yeah, they just stuffed Spencer Allred. Allred from Granitesville, Utah, 6'8 junior, gets a put back, and we've got a jump ball and a timeout on the floor. With the Gonzaga Zags and the Grizzlies at 9-8, we'll be back here in Montana. Stay with us.
Does your dream home have a mountain view or a lake view? Will your child follow in your footsteps or find her own way? How far can you go on your own? Dreaming is the first stage. Wells Fargo. The next stage.
Interesting. Coca-Cola or Pepsi-Cola? A paradox. While molecularly similar, they logically seem to offer two possibilities. Of course, you must invariably arrive at one and only one correct choice.
A no-brainer.
This game is brought to you in part by the Montana Standard and the Missoulian, the Bozeman Daily Chronicle, and the Havre Daily News, keeping you up to date and informed all over Montana. Welcome back to the Dahlberg Arena here in Missoula. Ron Davis, Gene McNulty King, with a Wednesday night basketball fest. Montana's Grizzlies taking on Gonzaga Zags, and the Grizzlies leading it by a score of 9-8 here early. Both teams coming out pumped up. Buck Masters will try a little fadeaway jumper, and it's all air. High in the air for the board is Zach Gord, and this young man can really pull him down. He averages 6 boards a game. Not a lot to come off the board on that one as it was all there, though.
A little far out for a turnaround.
Right now, for both these squads, it seems like they're playing a lot of outside. Nobody's really successful inside yet.
Right, the University of Montana started successful inside as Trammell hit 2 good buckets, but since then it's all been a 3-point fest.
Nice board in there by Zach Gord, keeping alive, and then the 3 going the other way by Blake Stepp. The true freshman rips the 3.
And I'll tell you what a story he is, averaging almost 14 points a game, 5 rebounds a game, almost 5 assists a game, and 1.5 steals on a nationally ranked team as a freshman.
And he played for his dad. His dad was his high school coach. He was an all-state player and MVP of his high school conference.
Actually, the 4A player of the year, had 52 points in one game.
Spencer Aldred puts it up for 2. The 6'8 junior gets 2 points in the evening, and the Grizzlies tied up at 11. Gonzaga looking to go, and you go back to Stepp. Here's a 3 by Casey Calvary, and it knocked that down.
Has Calvary even shot from the inside yet?
No, he hasn't.
You know what? It's a great opportunity to be able to watch him play, and hoping come NBA draft time, he's going to see his name in lights.
Well, and he had 17 points last time he was here at Dahlberg Arena, and he said he likes playing here. Here's a 3 by Buckmaster, rims, and Slider and Greenwell kind of battle for the rebound. It goes out of bounds. And now we got a line change for both squads as we see a lot of new players coming in. Looks like Corey Violet comes in for Gonzaga. Also in for Gonzaga is Kyle Bankhead is in. Let's just get a good look at Coach Few.
Zach Gord.
Gord back in. And Pedersen in for the Grizzlies. So the Zags with a 14-11 lead after Cavalry's 3 to bring it back down right away, and they cast. The putback won't go, and the fight underneath. And we've got a push foul down underneath, and it's coming away to Spencer Allred, and he's going to be pushed from behind by number 33, Corey Violet.
Here we're getting another look at that battle for the rebound, and you see all the Grizz in there, and great position.
Violet had a hand on the lower back there of Spencer Allred, pushes him getting a foul. So the Grizzlies with the basketball, trailing by 3. Allred and Christensen out top playing catch. Montana against his tough defense. And nice Cummings on this cutting down the line.
Beautiful give and go.
And that's the way it's supposed to be played, and Brent Cummings gets to his first 2 of the ball game. The give and go is a play that you try to teach kids in 5th and 6th grade basketball, and they use it even up. A couple guys have made a career of that. One of them has a new scoring record, or number 2, Gord gets 2, but the mailman and a young guy that used to play for this team.
I don't think anybody probably knows who that is, huh?
You have the give and go down to an art in the NBA. Grizzlies working it around. Buckmaster, long distance. He's on. Shot won't go over the back. Going to be called on Cummings. Gene, as you take a look at it, this is the give and go.
beautiful give and go. Laid it up soft off the glass, and we got us a ball game.
We got another foul on the Grizzlies, and that would be team foul number 3 on them, 4 on the Zags. Remind you to guess the score. There's the www.omegatvp.com. You know, one of the prizes I did mention earlier was Wells Fargo has a one-day interest on $1 million. 1 day's interest on $1 million. And if there's a tie, the earliest time in gets the win. That's how it works. So get on there and get your score in by halftime. Gonzaga, Reason out top. He's a leaper. Goes inside. Reason working hard down underneath to Gord. Gord can't get it to go, and the Grizzlies bring it out. Right away, the Grizz with Kyle Keys leading the attack. Keys tries to force it inside, and with the quick hands of Blake Stepp takes it the other way.
Real
Now Stepp
important there,
loses it.
Ron, to reverse the ball. You don't want to keep it on the same side all the time because that doesn't open anything up. You reverse the ball, you make the defense work.
Grizzlies get the ball. They get the timeout, a short one, but we'll take a timeout as well. 16-13 our score. Stay with us. We'll be back at Dahlberg Arena in a moment.
Picturing the perfect Montana gift for the holidays this year? Give them what they'll really love. A subscription to Montana Magazine and the 2001 Montana Magazine calendar.
This year, give a Montana favorite, Montana Magazine. 6 big issues filled with award-winning photography. Each issue brings you the real Montana. From the rolling eastern Montana plains to the majestic mountains of the west, it's the perfect gift for the holidays. And it's so easy to give. Just pick up the phone and call 1-800-294-8330. Your friends and relatives will receive a note announcing your gift. It's that easy, and it's only $23 for 6 issues of Montana Magazine and the 2001 calendar. Get your credit card ready and call 1-800-294-8330.
Take advantage of this special offer. Give them what they really love. A 1-year subscription to Montana Magazine. Call now.
The beginning of college basketball season. Teams challenge themselves by stepping up a level. Higher competition means higher growth. The Wells Fargo Holiday Basketball Challenge continues. Thursday, December 14th at 7 p.m., the University of Idaho challenges the University of Montana.
And welcome back for upcoming games. Here's what we got coming at you. Next Thursday, I'll be back here with Joe McClafferty with Idaho and Montana and men's basketball 7 o'clock next Thursday night. And then it's Idaho at Montana State on December 16th. That should be another great one as we got a whole lot of games coming up on the Wells Fargo Holiday Challenge. And that's what we have going for you tonight. Part of game number 3 of the Wells Fargo Holiday Challenge here tonight. As Montana and the Grizzlies, Gonzaga, the Bulldogs. The 3 by the Grizz, counted by Kyle Keys as he gets on the board, and it's all knotted up. And Gene, right now, both teams are playing very physical and very hustle-up basketball, and really putting a lot on the floor.
You know, I think it's real important on both parts. I asked Coach Holtz, you know, are the Grizzlies intimidated at all? You see this team play Arizona and really, you know, right in the game until.
We got a foul down underneath, and it's going to be called on the Grizzlies, number 40, Travis Greenwald. So Greenwald gets fouled. We've got a timeout called for by the Grizzlies. So the Grizz want to talk over timeout, but before we're there, I'd like to go back and talk. We haven't had a chance to really talk a lot about Casey Calvary. Here's a young man who is one of the best in the country at college basketball, and he's a finalist for the John Wooden Award. And, Gene, that's quite an honor.
It is. The John Wooden Award, actually what they do is there's 50 nominees, and he's one of those. On March 27th, they narrow that down into a 10-player Wooden All-American team. And then on April 6th, the most outstanding collegiate basketball player of the year will receive the John Wooden Award. Mid-season, somewhere late December, we're going to get an idea because they're going to narrow it down to the top 30. But what an exciting honor, and what it's a great award for anyone team to be nominated for.
So you're one of the top 50 collegiate basketball players in the country just by being selected to that 50 finalists.
Absolutely.
So that already says a lot about Casey Calvary. And he's quite a quality young man as well. I was talking to a member of their squad earlier. At one time this last summer, he was up to about 260 pounds of pure muscle. He had to drop about 30 of that to play hoop, but he spent so much time in the weight room, he bulked up so large.
Would you like to go against him inside?
No.
You wouldn't have to. He just pops outside.
I definitely don't want to get caught outside by him either.
What I was saying earlier, right before that foul, is Gonzaga was right in the game against Arizona until Calvary fouled out. And so for the Grizz to look at that and see them playing number 5 and playing them close, a little bit of intimidation factor. They've come out, they've got it knotted up, and I think it was really important to establish that at the get-go, that they're not afraid of this Zag team.
You know, and for the Zag, they're missing one of their key players, a big reason why they have been getting it done. And he's out with a broken hand.
He is. Dan Dickow, he was the starter. They actually run a two-point guard front, and now they're just doing a true point guard front with Stepp, as you see him with the ball right there.
And Trico's in place of the injured Dickow, but he was averaging, 20-some points a game and getting the job done in a lot of ways. Here's Reason driving to the bucket, and he can't get it to go down, and it's cleared away down underneath by Greenwald for the Grizzlies.
The Grizz are really doing a good job of blocking out. As you notice, we're getting a lot of rebounds. I'm sure that Coach Few would like to see a few more offensive boards and a little bit more accuracy on the offensive end.
Travis Greenwald, big sky hook, and you can't block that one.
No, you can't.
He
That's
knocks
a beautiful
it down.
hook shot.
Gives his Grizzlies a 2-point lead. Right away, though, the Bulldogs in action. They bring it down inside.
Good defense.
Nice rebound on the other side, and it's put back in a score and a chance at 3 for Corey Violet as a 6'8 freshman knocks it home. So, Gene, that was a big play by Violet down underneath.
And just mentioned how they want to get more on the offensive boards, and there Violet steps in, grabs it, gets a foul. 3 points the old-fashioned way.
This young man, a redshirt freshman from Boise, Idaho, and this is part of their road trip. They're here tonight. Then they play at Boise, and he gets to go play at Boise and go home and see the friends. Some home cooking.
Always so nervous, I'm sure, to go play in front of the home crowd.
So you want to talk about home field court advantages, though, go to the Kennel. You've been there.
You know the Kennel, boy, one of the toughest courts in the country. Over the last 9 years, there are 106 wins to 9 losses for a 92.2 winning percentage.
Wow. And they have a group of fans that are just amazing. Coming back the other way, the Grizzlies trying to get something to happen. We're going to have a foul down underneath on Dan Trammell.
I don't think Dan Trammell thought he did that.
Dan Trammell didn't like that call.
I wonder if he's a high jumper.
He showed some definite height there. So we've got a timeout on the Holiday Challenge. The Zags and the Grizzlies with the Zags out in front. We'll be back.
Can you live for today and still prepare for tomorrow? If you had the chance to make your dream come true, could you? When you look out your window, what do you wish you'd see? Seeing the possibilities is the first stage. Wells Fargo, the next stage.
An exciting new development is taking shape in Montana's capital city. The Great Northern Town Center at the north end of town is located on what was the original Great Northern Rail access into Helena. Great Northern Town Center developer, Alan Nicholson.
Great Northern Town Center is the first truly mixed-use development in Helena and maybe in many respects in the state of Montana. The project will have housing, both condominium and apartment. We'll have retail shops. We'll have offices. We'll also have a hotel. Right now we're looking at a convention center. We'll have a carousel. It'll be a fun opportunity for kids. We think we're going to have a pretty interesting place down here, full of a variety of kinds of people and lots of uses.
At the Great Northern Town Center, the excitement is building. For information on opportunities, call us or visit our website today.
And welcome back to tonight's game. The game is brought to you, of course, by all the fine folks, but when we're on the road, we stay at the best inns of Missoula and Bozeman City Center Motor Inn. When we're on the road, come stay with us as we travel all over Montana and the Northwest region, bring quality sports to you on Omega TV. And Gene, three-pointers have been a big part of this ball game, and these teams have been really getting after it.
There you see the first half so far. Gonzaga 4 for 7, Montana 2 for 5.
So the Zags of Gonzaga try to get the three off. It's blocked by Slider. The back into the hands, and a good job on defense. So hustling over and getting that one is Mark Spink. Gonzaga, Calvary, and we got a timeout going to be called by the officials. And I'll tell you, Holtz is really working hard over there on that sideline against an official.
There you see Coach Don Holson is
third year. Yep. And he last year getting the Big Sky Conference regular season title. hosted the championship here, lost out in that one. But a team that really didn't have, you had one star, but you were trying to develop an image for the team, and they did after this game with Gonzaga.
And, he came into such a tough situation his first year having to play at Sentinel High School as the Adams Center was being renovated. And that's tough.
Yeah, you come in and have to play in a high school gymnasium when you're used to playing in this facility. It's a major change. They're still waiting for the new scoreboard here. The scoreboard has not been, the one they originally bought, they found after they got it here that wouldn't hold the weight. We got a foul going to be called on the Grizzlies, and it's whistled against Deldra Carr, Gene.
There you get another look at it, a little reach in.
When the guy has the ball, they're calling it a lot tighter. Have you noticed that this year?
And that's one of the things that they're stressing. I know when we played just in our little deja vu games, when we had like the captain's meeting at the front at the beginning of the game, they were saying no hand checking, where the person that's got the ball is going to be protected. Pure and simple.
And that's 7 fouls now on the Grizzlies, so we're going to have the bonus as we're going to go to line for the one-on-one, and the first one up by Anthony Reason won't go, and the Grizz cleared away. So the first free throw of the ball game doesn't matter. So we're going back the other way, and the Grizzlies have it. Gonzaga out in front by 1. The Grizzlies down underneath. A good power move by Greenwald, and he'll get 2 more. He has 4 in the ball game. And the Grizzlies back up by 1.
Yeah, the Grizz have a young team.
They're trying to get it down hard, and they did to Calvary, and Calvary put it off the back of the backboard. Came down with the ball. He's going to be called for the travel. He was working hard, but he's behind the backboard. Here's the Grizz again, Gene.
Just a nice entry pass in, squared up, got his footing, didn't just throw it up, and as a result, got the bucket.
New in the ballgame, Shane Christensen. Christensen, the Las Vegas junior at 6'1". Slider out top for the Grizzlies. As the Grizz lead by 1, working around. Buckmaster to Slider. And Montana now with the 1-point lead and the basketball. Again, nice to have you along at the Dahlberg Arena here in Missoula, Montana for tonight's ball game. Greenwald again inside, and Calvary rejects that one. He about wipes out Dicko on the bench. He's already hurt.
That's a hook shot he just checked.
Watch
that
this.
Wasn't just, that's a hook shot. And that's just gone. It's like he knew the whole way that was going up, and he's knocking it to the stands.
You see Dan Dickow move his leg. He said, guys, I'm hurt. I'm not out there for a reason. Quit trying to abuse me. Slider for 3 from the corner. And it's going to be knocked out of bounds by Greenwald. Greenwald's playing pretty tough there. Calvary, they're playing each other tight. Gene, as you look at this game and you look at both teams kind of getting the feel for it, what kind of seasons do you think are ahead for both of these teams?
Right now, I think Gonzaga probably came in thinking that it's going to be a little easier game than they're having right now. So I think that it's kind of a reality check for them. But obviously, they've got the quality. They've got a great freshman. They've got obviously the senior. I think they're going to have a great year.
Down underneath, Slider with the block, trying to take it inside. And you can't go inside without at least a head fake down there.
And Montana, to finish that last statement, Montana is playing great right now. I think they're showing some signs of brilliance, and they're playing a good inside and outside game.
We got a foul called against them on Anthony Reason. Here's that block down underneath.
And, you look, he's going up against 4 Grizz in there. You just can't do that without getting him up in the air, like you said, with a fake.
Well, Gonzaga,
Coach Holtz,
he's getting his
some candy.
He's kind of just munching a little bit. There's some walking in the stadium, had a pot in his hand. He's just kind of relaxed. Gonzaga, this is their first game of a 4-game road trip. They don't play at home again until December 30th. They're here, they're at Boise, then they go to Florida, and then they go to, I believe it's Wisconsin to play Wisconsin-Green Bay.
You notice there Greenwald just had an opportunity to shoot it, saw Calvary right behind him, and passed it back out.
And then he did take the shot. It's called rejection. Step, takes it down inside, he shakes and bakes. There's 5 points for him, and he does a great job.
I'll tell you, what a freshman.
I believe this young man can step up whatever position, whatever they want him to do. If they need points out of him, they need defense out of him.
Arizona, he had 21 points, 3 assists, 4 turnovers in 33 minutes.
And being a
then
coach,
he turned around. Sorry.
Being a coach's kid, he can do a lot more on the floor than just score for you, too.
Turned around, and Washington had 10 assists and only 2 turnovers in 38 minutes. 10 assists, only 3 off of the school record of 13, obviously.
And one of those guys was John Stockton.
Yes, it was.
With the record. Grizzlies throw it out of bounds, and here's kind of what he's been doing out there.
You know what? A great little hesitation, dribble, pop back, and can the 2.
And that's the way we'll send it away. The Zags out in front of the Grizzlies, 21-20. Stay with us.
Hello, I'm Dean Conklin, host of Omega Television's Thursday Night Football, Sports Saturday, and the High School Championships. This fall, we're showcasing Montana schools and Montana athletes. We're featuring high school football and girls basketball. Frontier Conference football action. Montana State Bobcats and Montana Grizzly football. Now, through Omega Television, you can order your own copy on VHS of your favorite games and teams. Here's how to order.
To order your VHS copy of your favorite game, have your Visa or MasterCard ready and call 1-888-400-9121 or send $16 plus $3 shipping and handling to the address on the screen. Make sure to tell us which game tape you're ordering and allow 10 to 14 days for delivery. That's 1-888-400-9121. The beginning of college basketball season. Teams challenge themselves by stepping up a level. Higher competition means higher growth.
The Wells Fargo Holiday Basketball Challenge continues. Thursday, December 14th at 7 p.m., the University of Idaho challenges the University of Montana.
And welcome back to the Wells Fargo Holiday Challenge as we're in game number 3 of our series on the 5-game Holiday Challenge. It's Gonzaga and Montana all knotted up. Rebound-wise, Gene, that has to be a little bit surprising.
And, you know, that was one of the goals of the Montana team is to stay with them on the rebounding, as Gonzaga is a great rebounding team.
A travel going to be called down underneath as Zach Gord was trying to get himself in position to get a shot off, but the Grizzlies weren't taking his head fakes.
Feet got a little antsy.
You know, this Gonzaga team has been referred to as the sweethearts of college basketball. They're everybody's little favorite because they're such a small school, 4,300 or 4,600 students. But, you know, they've gone to the tournament and done some damage.
They have. 2 years ago, they went to the Elite Eight. Calvary actually tipped it in with 4 seconds left to upset. Who did they play then? Big upset. Went to the Elite Eight. Last year, they went to the Sweet 16 by beating St. John's, number 3 seed. They beat Louisville, and then they finally lost out to Gene Katie's Purdue Boilermakers, 75-66.
Grizzlies miss, and we're going the other way as the Zags with the lead and the ball. They're still trying to fight. Boy, they're really changing things. They're trying to go inside, and the Grizz aren't letting it happen as they pack it in tight. Greenwald knocks it away.
And exactly what Coach Hull says is they need to work an outside, inside out. There's a big bucket.
Yeah, Pedersen
That'll shut
knocks
me
it
up.
down. As Ryan Pedersen, the freshman from Minneapolis, knocks it home. We give him the 3 on that, and the Grizzlies out in front by 2. Pedersen was a big-time name, and they were going to Hernandez. As he puts up the 3, won't happen, but the rebound comes out along the step. But I was going to say Pedersen was a big-time player. He was an all-state player and everything in Minneapolis, and he was an all-conference player. And finally get some action for the Grizz, but Kyle Bankhead says, I'll show you how to shoot a 3. Watch this. 6'3" freshman from Walla Walla knocks
Those
it home.
freshmen can shoot.
When you say the kids aren't being taught how to shoot anymore, come to this game, folks. And remember, guess the score as we have by halftime at www.omegatvp.com. Guess score winner has a whole bunch of great prizes, plus the Wells Fargo 1 day's interest on $1 million if you guess the score correctly. Again, do it by halftime. There's the address. Trying to go down inside. We're going to have a foul down inside, a little holding foul. And you can see Zach Gord to that backhand was holding Greenwald's arm back.
And I'll tell you, Ron, that was just incredible position by Greenwald. You see him there. He's trying to get it over, establish great position. They thought they were going to reverse the ball, and he just, a little quicker pass, and that would have been right to him. But as a result, they had to foul him to not let him get it.
6th team foul on Gonzaga as the Grizzlies will bring it in. And the ball's going to be taken back the other way, and that's something you can't do when you're playing a team like this Gonzaga squad. As Hernandez goes the distance.
You don't want any unforced turnovers. Unforced errors will kill you, and that right there was just a mishandle.
Here's Hernandez taking it to the hoop.
On that Slider doesn't think he fouled him, and he's giving the ref the, hey, I didn't do anything. But if you just stand there and go straight up, make him shoot over you instead of leaning into him, you're not going to get the foul.
Hernandez at the line. He has 2 assists in the ball game. Looking for his first points, and he gets it. Here's the young man that was a big player in Las Vegas. He led his team to a state championship. He was an outstanding player. Then he went to Casper Community College, where he spent the last 2 seasons before joining this Gonzaga team, and he's been doing some good things for him.
He was All-Region Player of the Year there, 3rd-team All-American.
Misses this one. He has 1 point in the ball game.
Averaged 24 points a game for Casper.
And so far for Gonzaga, he's been averaging just 7.6 as he's still trying to fit into the program.
Nevada Player of the Year out of high school.
He was a player, no doubt about it. Still is, for that matter. And he's joined a high-quality team in Gonzaga.
Well, that's the thing with a high-quality team. You're not going to, everyone's that good.
Greenwald looks to go inside and kicks it back out to Buckmaster.
Nice
back
pass.
Nice pass back, and he doesn't finish it. Boy, I tell you what, you go back to Buckmaster and say, sorry, you gift wrapped it, and I dropped it.
Boy, wide open, and I think there he just...
Foul going to be called on Hernandez down at the other end as Hernandez bumps into Slider. Slider takes the charge.
I think that Greenwald didn't know, should I just lay it up or should I slam it, and kind of went halfway. If you look here, you're going to see it again. He went up, and then he just kind of hesitated.
Coach is going to say, use the glass. There's a little extra line drill coming your way after that one. You need to get those ones. 25-23 our scores. Coach Holtz looks it over from the sidelines. I don't think he ever sits down during the game, does he? Must at halftime, but he never does during the game.
No, I'm sure he doesn't even at halftime.
Slider and the Grizzlies looking to get tied up at least here as they work the ball around.
Gonzaga still going with the real tough man-to-man pressure. Pressure D.
So the Grizzlies are trying to fight with it. And boy, I'll tell you, the one guy they know who's out there all the time is Casey Calvary. And with the shot clock going down, they cast it up. Buckmaster's shot won't go. But good defense by Gonzaga.
You look at Calvary, and he's an incredible player. It doesn't even look like he's working up a sweat. Isn't even tired, just in great shape.
I don't think he's shot from inside yet as he misses on a 3 there.
Isn't that his first miss as well? First miss I've seen.
Grizzlies bring it down. Keys.
I missed a few.
Greenwald fighting hard inside against
He's
Calvary.
He's going to make up for the last one.
And Greenwald took it right at him. He has 6 points in the ballgame. That's knotted up at 25. Some people might be just a little surprised at the Grizzlies staying with Gonzaga here early in this ballgame.
And I think defense is a key. 25 points with only 3 minutes to go. That's not much scoring. And that's a result of very stiff defense.
Well, Steph got away with one travel, but they caught him on the other one. The turnover to the Grizzlies and a timeout on the floor. Montana and Gonzaga tied up 25 apiece. We'll be back in Missoula after this.
The resources you consume in one lifetime will not be replenished in a million lifetimes. Which begs the question, how resourceful can we be? The Universal System Benefits Charge funds a variety of resource and low-income assistance programs, not only for us, but for them. The USB-C on your Montana power bill, it benefits all of us.
This holiday season, hook up your home to digital cable TV. Then you'll have the gift of movies all year long. You'll have sporting events and original programming all wrapped up. You'll open up new worlds of fun and education for the kids. And you'll get to unwrap all your classic favorites. Make the holidays even sweeter with our sweet deal.
Become one of the most popular Montana art posters. 24 by 36, 6-color reproduction, 100-pound museum-grade stock. Yours is waiting for you at your local Wayland Tire store, free for the asking.
Hi, I'm Tom Whalen. Please stop in any of the 13 Wayland Tire stores across Montana and see any of the Service First, Quality Always crew for a free poster. It's academic.
This game is brought to you in part by Quest Wireless, the communications to change everything. Ride the light, Quest. We've been riding the light and the fun here tonight. Welcome back to Missoula to Dahlberg Arena. Ron Davis and Gene McNulty King with a call of a great basketball game. The Montana Grizzlies and the Gonzaga Zags knotted up at 25 apiece. on this Wells Fargo Holiday Classic. Greenwald gets himself outside, and it won't go. Stepp pulls it down, and Stepp has been doing it at both ends of the floor for Gonzaga.
Pretty bright future for that young freshman.
Gonzaga going with a little bit of a shorter lineup. Calvary's out. Spink came in to replace him in the long three. I'll tell you what, right in their face, and Kyle Bankhead still knocks it down for his second three and 6 points.
Freshman from Walla Walla, Washington.
A lot of youngsters on this Gonzaga team, and actually Gonzaga feels they have more depth this year than they had last year. They have more players that can step up at any time. Cummings going to try three, and he's got it. Brent Cummings with 5 points in the ballgame as he drains the tray, and we're knotted up again. We got an offensive foul going to be called on Stepp. Boy, that was a close call, as Stepp was over there, and he and Keys were kind of throwing it around a little bit, and they're going to call the offensive foul. And here's your last chance to get in on Guess the Score. You want interest on $1 million? Would you like to have a year subscription to the Montana Magazine? Maybe $100 at Wayland Tire? $100 at, let's see, what else? Universal Athletics? Guess the Score. It's your last chance. Get on there now. Going the other way. Pedersen for three. He misses on the outside. Calvary, as the ball drops into his hands, gets to the board, and we're going the other way. 2 minutes to play here in the first half of this ball game. And we're all knotted up. Stepp works it around. Taking it inside. Trico can't get it to go, and the Grizzlies will clear it away. Right now, defense at both ends of the floor is really being tough. Tenacious. They're not letting anybody get free. Buckmaster is free. He's firing the three, and he's tripping it down.
6 points for Jared Buckmaster, 2 threes.
And Coach View wants a timeout. So the Zags call for the timeout. We're going to keep it here. 28-31, Grizzlies out in front. And Grizzly fans are on their feet because they're liking what they see here. And again, we want to welcome everybody along on KRKV, KN over in Spokane. Nice, KSKN over in Spokane, who's joining us on Channel 22. Gene, over there in Spokane, they're saying, wow, what's happening? And I'm sure Coach View is saying the same thing.
You know, I've had a lot of people here. Here you're going to get a good look at Buckmaster wide open for the three, and he drains it. A lot of people thought this was really going to be a blowout game, and the Grizzlies are really making Gonzaga take a step back and say, whoa, what's going on? And as you can see, Coach View is not very happy with the situation.
The Grizzly fans are dancing in the aisles on this one tonight, folks, as they're pretty fired up with what they're seeing on the floor. And there's the man that rained the three. And Coach View is out there. He's standing at middle of the court, Gene.
He doesn't like something that's going on with the reffing. You know, you look at him, 26-9 last year. He's 7th in NCAA history for a rookie coach, the winningest first-year head coach in the history of the Zags.
And he did a big deal there. As, he had 26, and that put him up there with some big names. Gonzaga trying to work it down underneath as they go to Calvary inside, and he has that quick moves, quick step, and gets two. That gives him 8.
Like, I'm surprised you mentioned earlier that's I think maybe the first inside shot we've seen.
That's his
and
first shot in the box.
For him.
Yeah, it was. And he, you know, he's so quick on that turnaround, and he's so strong. When he turns around and goes, nobody's going to stay with him. So the Grizzlies still ahead by 1, and with the basketball, about a minute to go here in the first half. Great basketball action at Dahlberg Arena on this Wednesday night. Another big game being played in the United States tonight. A rematch of last year's national championship game. Florida up playing at Michigan State.
Here you see Kyle Keys with the ball. Sat out last year with an ACL injury.
And here's a young man that they expect big things from.
Didn't seem to hamper him much this year as he's still quick as can be.
Cummings with the shot clock running down, puts it up, and Calvary there to clear it away. Quick outlet to Reason. Here's a young man that can just sky Mr. Reason, but he's going to fire it back out on top. And they're going to go for one shot here, but we have a whistle and a push foul down underneath. Going to be called against the Grizzlies, and we're going to the line.
You know, I hope we get to see a replay of that. It's very physical and a lot of pushing underneath. But when you actually see that there's a little bit of acting going on at the very end. I'm not saying it wasn't a foul, but the actual fall. Let's watch this. You see pushing, and then he backed away from him.
And fell down.
Hey, it worked.
He's going to the line. That's all that matters. And it's his first trip. Spink goes in line. You know, we have yet to have a Grizzly go to the free throw line. The Spink knocks it down.
You know, I was telling you earlier about Spink. Played basketball in high school, but didn't start for his high school team until he was a senior. Walked on at Gonzaga as a freshman, and now he's starting. for a nationally ranked team. They call him Mr. Hustle.
And, you know, he does do it. I remember last year he was all over the floor.
Oh, he had 13 points here last year.
And Spink gets 4 now as he knocks down the 2 free throws, and he gives his squad the lead, 32-31.
Keeps it in the family for Spink, too. Brother Scott played for Gonzaga, graduated in '94. His sister-in-law was a great volleyball player, Kelly Cunningham Spink. Now she's an assistant coach for the Bulldogs. And his brother Thompson graduated in '97.
And they just kind of have that Gonzaga attachment and don't want to leave it, do they?
That's right.
So the Grizz are working it around. Sparrow into the ball game for Gonzaga. As the Grizz working around. And looking for that last shot. 10 seconds to go now. They take it inside, looking to find somebody. They give it off. Trying to get Buckmaster free for 3, but it's not happening. They got 2 seconds.
Put it up.
Buckmaster's fade away from 3 won't go, and that's the way it'll end at the half. With Gonzaga sneaking out in front of the Montana Grizzlies, 32-31 here at halftime. It's a great first half of basketball. Stay with us. We've got a great halftime show coming your way. When we come back, Gonzaga in front of Montana, 32-31.
What you do if you smell a natural gas leak in your home isn't nearly as important as what you don't do. Please leave the telephone and lights alone and call us from a neighbor's house. Your partner in safety, the Montana Power Company.
Does your dream home have a mountain view or a lake view? Will your child follow in your footsteps or find her own way? How far can you go on your own? Dreaming is the first stage. Wells Fargo. The next stage.
When you consider all that your finances mean, you come up with one solution. The accounting firm of Galusha, Higgins, and Galusha. Who do you trust with your finances? As a member of communities across Montana, Galusha, Higgins, and Galusha is proud to sponsor Thursday Night Football.
It's what opens my mind.
I remember her eyes. Just gets me right here.
It's where I watch the world change.
I think it's funny.
Whatever you wonder about, think about, feel passionate about, or laugh about, you'll find a channel about it on AT&T Cable.
I really get into it.
AT&T Cable, where there's something for everyone.
Halftime is being brought to you by Galusha, Higgins, and Galusha. Who do you trust with your finances? And by the Dairy Farmers of Montana. Got milk? And we are at halftime. We've got a great show coming your way at halftime. We're talking with Wayland Tires, George Richter, when we come back.
One thing the contractor did not mean to do here was rupture a gas line. One simple phone call, 2 working days before his crew started digging, and all of this could have been prevented. Now the contractor's lost a lot of time and a lot of money, and maybe a good employee.
Call at least 2 working days before you dig. We care about your safety. The Montana Power Company.
30. This is it. The throw to the end zone. The Forest. Touchdown, Bears! Touchdown, Bears!
The game is a whole lot more exciting when I can watch and listen to Rocky on the radio at the same time.
I never miss Rocky's sports program, but I hate it when he makes me cry.
Hello, everyone. This is Rocky Erickson.
Rocky makes the game sound so exciting.
Jared Bratcher breaks the tackle. Bratcher.
Listen every weekday to Rocky Erickson's Montana Sports Radio program on the Northern Sports Network.
I know a little bit about colleges and universities. One university, anyhow, the one I went to. For instance, Eddie, you take Gonzaga. Hey, now how about that? And I hope your choice is going to be Gonzaga. You got that old Gonzaga spirit.
Don't even think about it. Why do we always have to wait for the captain?
The power of cheese.
We are your good neighbor. We're the Montana Standard. We're the ones who bring the world right to your door. We are your good neighbor. We're the Montana Standard. Rely on us, your good neighbor. We're the Montana Standard.
Welcome back to halftime of the Wells Fargo Holiday Challenge. And at the half, there you see it, Gonzaga. Well, you don't see it. Gonzaga out in front of Montana, 32-31. And we're at halftime. And joining me at halftime here is George Richter. And, George, you're with Wayland Tire, and Wayland Tire is all over Montana.
Oh, absolutely. We cover just about any city in Missoula. We're 13 stores throughout Montana, and we're strong, Mr. Wick.
Well, I got to ask you, George, the reason we brought you in is to talk a little bit about snows in the forecast for this region this weekend. A lot of people out there wondering, what kind of tires should I have? What can I tell about my tires? Let's talk a little bit about fitting people tires for the right kind of driving they do.
Actually, I think we're looking forward to some snow and some cold weather. And snow tires are just about a must in Montana.
Here's a look at some of those great tires.
Oh, you bet. There's some of our tires.
A great inventory.
It's an absolute must, I think, in Montana to have snow tires if you're doing any kind of traveling or anything of that sort.
You know, in a Wayland Tire, one of the biggest things is safety. I mean, not just the tires. When you guys put tires on a vehicle, you check that vehicle for the brakes and everything else. So it's actually a good time to have the undercarriage of your vehicle checked as well.
Oh, yeah. Whenever we're doing tire work, we have a point system we go through where we check all mechanical parts and structures on the vehicle to make sure everybody's safe on the road.
And I know from talking to Tyke many times, it's very important in Wayland Tire that safety is first, and we're not going to sell you something, even if you want it, if it's not going to work on your vehicle.
Oh, absolutely. Our main focus is safety and keeping our customers safe on the road.
Now, your guys go to work on a tire. When they go to work on putting the tires on, they also check brakes, which is probably the most ignored part of a vehicle. We put oil in there, we put gas in there.
Yeah.
But stopping it's actually as important as going.
Oh, absolutely. You bet. And actually, as far as checking your brakes, if you get routine checks, you can actually save yourself some money if you catch some things ahead of time that'll get snowball on you as far as costs are concerned too. So it's important that that's checked on a regular basis.
Well, Wayland Tire has been with us for a couple of seasons, and it's always nice to have Tom and Tyke and the whole crew. And we've been meeting your guys all over the state, especially with posters. The posters have been a big deal.
Oh,
you guys
they've
have
been great.
selling
You bet.
handing those out everywhere.
Geez, I mean, I'll tell you, the women really love them babies. They're just real strong with that, and a great picture. That's doing a nice job for us.
And now the posters, you got like 1 week left, and then all of a sudden you're going to be charged for those posters. So if you want to stop into a Wayland Tire store anywhere in Montana, pick up one of our great posters that we have as our Omega TV crew travels around Montana. You get one of those posters. They're free right now, but in a week, they're going to start charging you $10 for those posters.
That's what I understand. So, hey, we're stocked up with them. So come and see us at Wayland Tire, and we'll take care of you there and get you a poster and to answer any questions you have about snow tires and safety on the road.
And when Omega TV goes down the road, Wayland Tires are taking us there, and we thank you for taking care of us, and the guys in Butte, Billy and Tommy and all those guys for all their hard work and all over Montana. And thanks to Wayland Tire for joining us.
Well, we'd like to thank you, too. We really appreciate what you guys have done for us, and I think it's going to be continue to grow and just snowball from there. So thank you very much.
Well, there you have it, Wayland Tire. They're proud to be part of Omega TV, and we're proud to have you with us. We're here at halftime, 32-31. When I come back, I'll be talking with Coach Joe Glenn of the Montana Grizzly football program here at the half.
Come on, let's go. Come on. This is going to be great. Hey, where's the concert?
Concert was last night. Should have read this week.
Check out this week, Fridays in the Bozeman Daily Chronicle.
Wayland Tire started approximately 39 years ago with an total investment of $75.
Our success over the last 39 years has come from our sincerity and our service of doing the job right.
Well, we handle all lines of tires, from wheelbarrow tires through earth mover tires.
It's not just tires that we have at Wayland Tire. It's also mechanic work that we do. We do shocks, brakes, alignments, custom wheels.
Our guarantee to you is that any product that we sell you or any service that we give you will be totally satisfactory, or we'll make it right with no hassle.
I'm going to guarantee to you that you will be satisfied. I'll guarantee that we will take care of you statewide throughout Montana at any of our stores.
We feel that the service that we give at Wayland Tire has a lot to do with our success.
But what separates us at Wayland Tire is service first and quality always.
Know what the harshest thing is about a Montana winter? That some people have to choose between going hungry and facing it without heat. But help may be available with the Low-Income Energy Assistance Program. To learn more, call your Human Resources Development Council or Montana Power.
And welcome back. We're at the half, 32-31. It's Gonzaga out in front of Montana. And I'm joined at the half by Coach Joe Glenn and coach of the Montana Grizzly football team. You guys have a big semifinal game here in Missoula against Appalachian State on Saturday. What can you tell us about your opponent?
Well, they're one of those teams that finished the season 8-3 and barely made the playoffs, and now they're playing their heart out, giving it all they got. They've upset the number 4 and number 5 seeds, and they're coming to town with something to prove.
Coach, they're road warriors. They've done it on the road, so here they come to Montana. What do you got in store for them?
Well, we're going to go out and give them both barrels. We got Drew Miller back. Jimmy Ferris is lighting it up. We're playing great team defense. I'm anxious. I think it's going to be a great game.
Well, you know, the Grizzlies are also led by the NCAA Division I AA Coach of the Year. Congratulations.
Well, thanks a lot. It's a team game, but very honored to accept the award on behalf of Montana and in the name of Eddie Robinson, one of the greatest coaches in the history of the game of football.
Well, Coach, we'll all be watching you all over Montana on Saturday. Good luck, and again, thanks for another great season of Grizzly football for the state of Montana.
Thank you, and up with Montana, boys.
Thank you, Coach, and we'll be back. We got the game coming back at you. 32-31, Gonzaga out in front. Stay with us. More coming your way.
The beginning of college basketball season. Teams challenge themselves by stepping up a level. Higher competition means higher growth. The Wells Fargo Holiday Basketball Challenge continues.
Thursday, December 14th at 7 p.m., the University of Idaho challenges the University of Montana.
Become one of the most popular Montana art posters. 24 by 36, 6-color reproduction, 100-pound museum-grade stock. Yours is waiting for you at your local Wayland Tire store, free for the asking.
Hi, I'm Tom Whalen. Please stop in any of the 13 Wayland Tire stores across Montana and see any of the Service First, Quality Always crew for a free poster. It's academic.
Montana is our home. Home for the cutthroat trout, grizzly bear, gentle mountain flowers. Home, too, for ranchers and loggers, for teachers, office workers, and all of us who make our living here. The Nature Conservancy of Montana reminds us that people and nature belong together. We're building common ground between jobs and environment, because each of us depends on the other. The Nature Conservancy of Montana, common ground and common sense.
And welcome back as Gonzaga and Montana light it up here, and here's how they do inside when they go to Casey Calvary, Gene.
Don't think that Montana wants to let him get the ball inside too much. It looks way too easy.
And then outside for the Grizzlies has been the game for them tonight. Cummings, actually Buckmaster lights it up from long distance.
And I think that defensively they got a little hammered by the coach on that one, as they don't want to leave them wide open for the three-pointers, as they're proved they can put them down.
So as we get the Wells Fargo Holiday Classic back underway, Holiday basketball challenges happening here in Montana at Dahlberg Arena. Ron Davis, Gene McNulty King bringing you all the excitement, along with our Omega crew that does just a great job on the court with the cameras and ripping everybody up in the truck. And Gene, as we get ready here for the second half, here's your stats.
Field goal percentage, pretty equal there, 40 for Gonzaga, 36 for Montana. Montana has not shot a free throw yet. Gonzaga's 4 for 6. Three-pointers, right, pretty much the same. Rebounding's pretty close. Turnovers, Gonzaga 8 turnovers. I can't think Coach Few's pretty happy about that.
I think there was maybe a little conversation going on in the locker room on Gonzaga. What do you think? So what do you change, Gene? What do you talk to your team about when, Montana's putting up a good game, but you're not playing to your ability? What do you say to your team?
I think he just goes in and it's more of a dig deep deal. I'm sure he's accused them of coming not expecting a good game and not playing to their potential.
Sliders whistled with the foul. Take a look at it. Looked like he took a little step there at the beginning, but Sliders whistled, and he has picked up his second personal foul for the Grizzlies, and Gonzaga will keep it in play. The Zags out in front, looking to extend it here. As they work the ball around, Montana playing them pretty tight. That tough defense, Gene, that we talked about. Spink's going to fire from the free throw line. He'll get 2. So Spink now with 6 points in the ball game. And the Grizzlies, some good passer going on there by Steppers. He just kind of stays in there and makes him think about it.
Just make them work a little harder. Not quite as easy.
Every once in a while, you'll maybe rip one off doing that. Now for the Grizzlies at the half, what is Coach Holtz talking to his squad about?
Just more of the same. Your defense has been incredible. You're rebounding with them. You're taking care of the ball. As you saw in that,
well, they were taking care
how's
of
my
it.
timing?
Slider tries to force it inside to Greenwald, and Cavalry steps in and takes it away from him. They're doing the ground crash down. Trammell playing tough defense with 2 personal fouls. Gonzaga, Hernandez, working it around. Here's the man, Casey Calvary, but Spink's going to fire the outside shot. It won't happen, and Trammell high in the air.
I think a difference, too, for Montana. They're going to want to keep Trammell in the game. He sat out early with 2 fouls, and he showed some brilliance early as he had 2 big buckets in the opening minutes inside over Calvary. He's also thought to be the most most exploding athlete on the team.
Easy for you to get across.
So you want him in the ball game. Montana
and here's what he does for you right there. And you gave him the build-up, and he made you look good.
Did I call that?
He made you look good. Trammell with the turnaround and 2, and it's 34-33 ball game. Back to 1-pointer for the Zags. We can welcome everybody along again over on KSKN Channel 22 in Spokane, Washington, and all over the Northwest United States. Watching us on Omega TV tonight here from Dahlberg Arena in Missoula, Montana. Gonzaga and Montana's Grizzlies. And there's a nice slice of the bucket, not able to finish, but didn't go back, and the Grizzlies knock it out of it. We're going to have a foul called on Gonzaga. As they cleared away, the whistle's going to be called on Mark Spink.
There's a big defensive letdown there as Gonzaga drove right to the bucket, uncontested, but then didn't get the putback. And a nice tip out by Dan Trammell, so the Montana ended up with the ball.
Trammell did a good job of getting it out of there because it looked like down underneath, Alex Hernandez was going to tip that back in again. He came close twice to tipping it back in, and he said, let's get it out of here. And so the Grizzlies get it back with the foul. One on each team here in the second half. Slider for the Grizzlies. She looks around, and right now that defense, they fire inside. They get into Greenwald.
Nice
Weak
pass.
side, slamming it down. Big Dan Trammell, the 6'6" junior.
Trammell says, I can do that too.
And he has 8. So he slams it down, and the Grizzlies take the lead. Gonzaga trying to get something going. So working around. Casey Calvary way out high. But he doesn't mind being out there.
Yeah,
He
what's
already
he
has
doing
2
out there?
threes.
He can't hit a 3, can he?
Just 2 of them so far. And he has his 10 or 8 in the ball game. And now he's going to drive in, and he takes it himself. And Calvary, you know, I think he can pretty much do that whenever he wants because this young man possesses great basketball skills.
I agree with you, and like I said earlier, it looks so easy.
He now has 10 in the ball game, and Gonzaga has the lead back. Trammell tries to go in underneath the Greenwald. Greenwald ends up in the cheap seats as he can't hang on to it. And here's what Trammell will give you when he's on the floor.
And that's just set up by a beautiful pass. You know, you draw 2 defenders to you, guess what? Somebody is wide open.
With that weak side help, and weak side help always leaves somebody open on the other side. And doing a good job finding it was Greenwald. Going the other way. Gonzaga with the basketball and the lead. Step back in the ball game. And Spink works it around. They go inside. Here's Calvary down underneath, and he has that great hang time. Did you notice that, Gene? He turns around to shoot that, gets in the air, and then he just hangs there, and the other guy's coming down when he shoots. That's just leg strength.
Very smooth player.
Christensen brings it down for the Grizzlies. And Montana now trailing by 3. Christensen's going to take it and tries to scoop it, and a foul going to be whistled and called for by Mark Spink.
You know, great move by Christensen in that if he would have just gone up with the layup, chances are he's going to get that slam back down in his face. Here you see he beats his guy, but there's a lot of help there. So he does the reverse underneath and draws a foul.
That's number 3 on Spink, so our first man in foul trouble. And Christensen is going to go to the line for the Grizzlies, and he is looking for his first points in this ball game as he'll be shooting 2.
And Shane came in last year as a starter when Keys was hurt. Keys has had a tough go.
Oh,
you know,
boy.
first year he sat out with a stress fracture, comes back ready to play, tears his ACL.
And now he's back this year, and he's having to share time with Christensen, who proved himself. Misses the first one, gets ready for the second. This is the first Grizzly at the line this evening. And he'll make it 50-50. So we've got a timeout on the floor. The Grizzlies trailing by 2 to the Gonzaga, 38-36. Stay with us. More great basketball coming your way from Missoula when we come back.
Can you live for today and still prepare for tomorrow? If you had the chance to make your dream come true, could you? When you look out your window, what do you wish you'd see? Seeing the possibilities is the first stage. Wells Fargo, the next stage.
AT&T's broadband technology delivers over 100 channels with thousands of hours of programming, featuring an enormous selection of movies directly into millions of homes every day. You want a little butter with that?
Havre Daily News, the Highline's only local daily newspaper, is a proud sponsor of Montana State University Northern. Read the Havre Daily News as they follow MSU Northern's and North Central Montana's high school athletics. To subscribe, call 265-6795 or check them out on the line at www.havredailynews.com. Back in Missoula at Dahlberg Arena. Nice to have you on board. It's a great Wednesday night Hoop Fest as we're back on the Wells Fargo Holiday Challenge. Game number 3 in the challenge as Gonzaga leads Montana by 2. The Gonzaga Zags with the basketball. Trying to spread out. They got it. You know, Gene, they've led by 3, and that's the biggest lead of this ball game.
And I'm sure, again, they've come out and expected the second half to really run away with it. And the Grizz really kept them in check.
Ward knocks down 2, and that's 4 for him in the ball game. As the big 6'8" sophomore hits it from the free throw line. Spread out to 4 now. Now the biggest lead of the ball game by 4 for Gonzaga. As the Grizzlies trying to keep things going. And right now, you're waiting at any time for somebody to make a move and start to spread this game out a little bit. You can hear Coach Holtz over there as they go inside. And the slam dunk by Allred. Spencer Allred finishes it big and gets his Grizz fired up.
All set up by a beautiful pass by Kyle Keys. Read it perfectly.
And they move that ball around rather quick to get it open. Here's Steph for 3, and you might as well count it. Whoa! I jinxed him. Greenwald has a knocked out of his hands by Calvary. We're going the other way.
Here we're going to get another look at that beautiful pass by Keys. Great position by Aldred.
Allred drains it down as Gord got on his back.
What set that up, what you said, Ron, is good ball movement. The quicker you move the ball around, the more the defense has to work. If you just keep the ball on one side of the zone, or a man for that matter, the defense doesn't have to move and work. Real important to reverse the ball.
So the Grizzlies down by 2, but with the basketball, working it around. Allred way out high, looking for help. Now Slider comes out. As Montana looks around and see if they can tie it up here. They go down. Greenwald, who's working against Calvary, takes it inside, puts a shot up. It won't go, gets his own follow. Puts it up and count it. Good work underneath by Travis Greenwald. He now has 8 in the ball game. But that's just tenacity. That's just stay with itness.
And I'll tell you, there's got to be a little intimidation factor going up against players that you know have the ability of throwing that right back in your face.
Back at tie score. Nice pass out. And a three-pointer by Calvary. This time won't go. Rebound down underneath Gord, and Bankhead with 3. Boy, can he just, if you get Bankhead any room whatsoever, he drains his third three.
His third.
And a foul going to be called on Steep. As he stayed around again, Blake Steep, and he almost got away with this one, Gene.
Here we're going to get another look at something.
Well, we got to look at nice moon in Missoula. There's Coach Few as he's ready to go. He's, I wonder what he's got to be thinking. You know, here he has a team that really tonight should have come in here. A lot of people thought and just walk away with this ball game.
Well, this team just beat University of Washington handily. They hung with Arizona, the number 5 team in the nation, until Cavalry fouled out late in the game. And now they're basically tied up with Montana.
They're up by 3 on that last 3 by Bankhead, but really a lot of people saying, uh-oh. As the Grizzlies are actually holding the tempo of this game. They're controlling the tempo of this game, and they're forcing Gonzaga to play their type of basketball, this slow-down pace. They're not running down the floor, casting the threes.
And you know, Gonzaga really wanted to run the ball. That was one of the key things they said. Keys of the game, we want to run the ball, we want to control the tempo.
Yeah, they have the scrim on the floor, and the ball finally comes out to Gonzaga. As Hernandez can't do anything with the back out to Steve. Violet's going to fire the 3. I'll tell you what, do they have a guy on this team that can't shoot the 3?
Like I said, 11 threes in their last game against Washington.
Now this year they're 3-pointers. Last year they slammed their way to the victory. Here now they have 8 threes and a timeout by the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies trailing by 6, 12:44 to play here in this second half. And let's go back and take a look at what happened on the floor down there. The turnover, Grizzlies back within 3, but Keys tries to force it, and then the battle starts, Gene.
And I think a very timely timeout by Coach Holst, as he doesn't want to see this one slip away. There's a lot of time left, and if they keep letting them shoot the threes and cannon them, it could be a long night.
Well,
12 and a half minutes is a long time.
Gonzaga brings the ball down after they get that, and they get the big 6'8" guys standing outside draining them.
And we're just not, they're just not shifting the zone fast enough, or actually were they in a man there, but they're not reacting. They're watching the pass, and then they're moving. You've got to anticipate and move with the pass.
Like I told you, 8 3-pointers by that man's squad as Coach Few looks on. Mark Few, the head coach, his team with 8. They had 11 in their last game. And they're not afraid to shoot it either. Any man on this team. So the Grizzlies trailing by 6 and trying to make something happen. Working it around. Greenwald off to Keys. Keys going to take it in high off the glass. Boy, he knew exactly where he's going to that one because it was blocked if he didn't hang that way up there.
It was.
Here's Casey Calvary bringing it down now as Bankhead looks at inside. Hernandez lobs it down underneath Calvary. Calvary gets a slam going the other way. And Gene, you said it earlier. It's almost like he's toying with the Grizzlies.
It looks as though he can score at will.
So Rip wanted dunks, he got dunks. First, let's go to the Grizzlies.
Beautiful drive by Kyle Keys and high off the glass.
Full court pressure going to be applied, and the pressure's going to work as the ball is stolen away by Gonzaga. Coming away with it is Calvary, slam it home. Calvary, back-to-back rippers. He almost brought the whole rim down on that one.
16 points for Casey Calvary.
Full court pressure, and the Grizzlies not able to work with it. Steve passes it down Greenwald. That's how you break it. Pass it down the floor. Over to Buckmaster for 3. It's going to be off the mark. Rebound by Trammell for the Grizzlies. And right now, 50-42. It's out quick on the double slams by Calvary. And down underneath, Greenwald finishes it. He'll get 2, and a foul is going to be called. So Travis Greenwald now with 10 points and a chance at the line for 3.
Here you get another look. Great pass in. Can't believe that pass got through.
Thread the needle, and Violet picked up
Corey
the foul.
Violet was right there, but just didn't have his hands up, and Greenwald makes it count.
So Greenwald will go to line, try for the 3-point play, and right away, instead of an 8-point lead, we'll be back down to a 5 if he can knock this home. And he does. So Greenwald gets it home, and we've got a timeout on the floor. The Grizzlies and Gonzaga. Gonzaga out in front, 50-45. We'll be back after this timeout.
The beginning of college basketball season. Teams challenge themselves by stepping up a level. Higher competition means higher growth.
The Wells Fargo Holiday Basketball Challenge continues. Thursday, December 14th at 7 p.m., the University of Idaho challenges the University of Montana.
Picturing the perfect Montana gift for the holidays? Get them what they'll really love. A subscription to Montana Magazine and my coffee table photo book, Montana Wild and Beautiful.
6 big issues of Montana Magazine, filled with captivating photography. Each issue presents the real Montana, a year-round look at the history, the people, wildlife, and landscape of Big Sky Country. And there's no better gift for the holidays than the photo book, Wild and Beautiful. This hardcover, 120-page coffee table book takes a look at all of Montana. Photographs by 2 of Montana's best photographers, John Reddy and Chuck Haney. With this special offer, you'll get a year's subscription to Montana Magazine and the book Wild and Beautiful for just $42. Call 1-800-294-8330.
Take advantage of this special offer. Give them what they really love. A 1-year subscription to Montana Magazine. Call now.
Generator and heavy equipment for this game has been provided by MP&E, the rental store. Welcome back to Dahlberg Arena, Missoula, and this is what Casey Calvary's been pulling off, Gene. Wow.
And you know, right after that, another dunk. How do you stop that dunk inside? You don't let him get the ball inside. That one was a driving, but you know, you've got to deny that pass inside because there's no way of stopping him once he gets it.
Well, he has 16 points on the ball game. He had 17 the last 2 times. Nice pass down inside and unable to finish, but Reason in to finish it. Good job on the foul by Anthony Reason. He has his first 2 points of the ball game.
And that was nice patience inside by Violet, but just didn't convert.
That's about the 3rd time that Gonzaga's had a problem down inside when they get it, finishing up underneath.
They're used to shooting those threes.
Yeah, you don't have to be inside if you can nail them as much outside as they do.
And they count for more.
The shot is up and in. Dan Trammell.
Trammell's 10th point of the night, and I said the importance of keeping him in the ball game for Montana.
52-47. Gonzaga with the ball with about 10:30 to go. Inside Calvary. He can't get it to go. The follow is going to be knocked out of there, and a whistle and a push going to be called on Gonzaga. Let's take a look at this Gonzaga following up underneath.
See, great patience there. But then shot it short. But it doesn't matter if you have your own teammate there to rebound it and put it back.
Violet picked up his third foul. That's team foul number 5 on Gonzaga. Montana only with one team foul here, Gene, in this second half. So Gonzaga having problems with the fouls. Greenwald down the baseline to Trammell. Trammell does a good job, but it's blocked by Reason. Boy, Reason can just leave, can he? He gets up in the air as he pins it into the glass, and it's going the other way. Reason, alley-oop, Calvary! Slam dunk with an exclamation point.
Is that number 4?
That's number 4. And that's 18 points for Casey Calvary, but he's got to go over and shake the hand of Anthony Reason. He put that right where it had to be.
He did, and defensively, you got to know that's coming. You've got to have scouted, know that that's one of their plays, and you just can't, you've got to be helped. If you get beat defensively, you have to have a teammate help you out.
Dan Trammell knocks it home from the baseline, but a nice pass by Slider after penetration. Push it inside, kick it back out for the shot.
Dan Trammell doesn't want to see Gonzaga run away with this. He's single-handedly trying to keep Montana in the ballgame.
Here's Reason for 3 from outside, won't go. Long rebound. It's going to be pulled down by Violet. Back out to Bankhead. And Gonzaga gets the new shot clock as Steep steps on the line. Over back. What do they call it here? It's going Montana way.
The ref just kind of had the wrong beautiful alley-oop.
We were watching the ref and they replay on the alley-oop, but you didn't need to really say anything about that anyway.
No, words might ruin it.
Casey Calvary going to the bench, and he goes to the bench with 18. And Montana's going to have the ball on the over and back call against Gonzaga. Trailing by 5. 9 minutes to play here in this ball game. Great basketball game on a Wednesday night in Montana. Shot
And
again.
he is on fire.
Trammell.
14 points for Dan Trammell. Averages 13 and a half a game.
10 here in the second half, Gene. So like you said, he's keeping his team in it. Grizzlies look like they're going to a zone, but back to man, and the ball's loose. And Gonzaga comes away, but no, Montana gets it. Greenwald out to Christensen, and it's going the other way.
I have a feeling that someone's not going to be on the bench for too awful long.
Yeah, Casey Calvary is needed on the floor to take control. Greenwald out to Carr. Carr for 3. His first points in the ball game. And the Grizzly fans are sensing upset. Timeout called by Gonzaga. We're going to keep here. The fans here are sensing maybe a little bit of upset. Your team's down by 8. You fight back to 54-54, Gene, and a lot of that's on Dan Trammell.
Absolutely. Dan Trammell comes in. I think he hit 3 or 4 buckets in a row to keep the Grizz in it. And that 8 points, you could have really, Gonzaga could have really run away with it. But shots like this help keep the team in the game.
Eldred Carr nails the 3. And really right now, Casey Calvary is back in the ballgame. They need him on the floor as Gonzaga because nobody else is really doing a lot to help out. He's been doing most of the work. And
that's right. Casey Calvary has 10 points and a half, as does Dan Trammell. So he's hanging right with them.
So Trammell and Calvary have been putting on a halftime show here as Calvary comes back into the ballgame. Gonzaga fans are sensing maybe a little upset. They're just happy their team's still in this with around 8 minutes to go. Everybody expected this possibly to be a blowout. I think everybody did. The Grizzlies were hoping just to play with some for respect. They've earned that. Gonzaga, Steve, Christensen all over him, trying to get it to Calvary. Back out top. Hernandez will set it up as they try to work things around. Reason loses the ball. And we got the travel going the other way. Couldn't hear the whistle. It's so loud here at Dahlberg Arena.
I can't think that would bother the Zags, however, because I'm sure it's just as loud, if not more so.
Oh, the kennel is loud. This doesn't even come close to the kennel.
I have not been in the kennel. I don't.
Slider and the Grizzlies tying it up, looking to take the lead. They haven't had the lead for quite a while. Not in the second half at all. And they're trying to make it happen here. Very patient, moving that ball around. Pedersen to Christensen. And they're going to bring it back out. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Still 10 seconds. The Grizzlies are going to have to make something happen, and they do. Carr from the corner, won't happen. And the ball's going to be tipped around and saved By Carr to Slider. Greenwald from the side, he gets 2.
13 points for Travis Greenwald as the Grizz take the lead for the first time, as you said, in the second half.
Matt Green shot from the side, won't go. Loose ball, chasing around, good job by Reason. He missed it, but he chased it down all the way across court. Greenwald with his average of 13, he's there.
You know, you kind of see a little bit of, maybe I'm misreading it, but a tiny bit of panic in the Gonzaga players right now. They're not used. They didn't come into this game thinking it's even going to be a ball game, and all of a sudden they're down with 7 minutes to go.
And here's the guy you need, Casey Calvary. He shuts him up with a 3. Casey, Mr. Ice. You know, I like you said, I think anytime he wants, he can score. As that time he rolls off a pick, he was off balance and still hits a 3.
21 points for Casey Calvary.
He was about 3 feet beyond the three-point ring on that one. Here's Pedersen. You leave him alone, he can drain it. This time off the mark, loose ball, jumped around. Greenwald with it, puts it back up, and Calvary with his 3rd block, and it's out of there, and the Grizz will have it though.
And that was great hustle by Slider as he worked hard to get that rebound to get the shot.
We got a timeout on the floor. The Grizzlies trail Gonzaga 57-56. We'll be back in Missoula for a great finish after this.
Wayland Tire, besides selling tires, we do all undercar service. We do the shock, truck, wheel alignment. We have some of the most sophisticated wheel alignment equipment in the country. We have good individuals, knowledgeable individuals.
Our people are not just good tire people. They're honest, they're sincere, they're just good people.
We feel that the service that we give at Wayland Tire has a lot to do with our success.
We're in the problem business. When a person wants to buy a stereo, they're excited about it. But when they want to buy tires, they have to buy tires. We're going to guarantee that we're going to make it as easy as possible for you to buy those tires.
In a sparsely populated state as Montana, this is very definitely a formula for success.
Honesty is a big part of who we are at Wayland Tire. It starts at the top with Tyke, all the way to our employees. At Wayland Tire, it's service first and quality always.
You've always taught them to be careful with appliances. At the Montana Power Company, we'd like to make sure you're careful too.
Hey, Buster.
Please have your furnace and other fuel-burning appliances checked annually. Your partner in safety, the Montana Power Company.
Hotel accommodations provided by Super 8 Motels, Holiday Inn Express, and Holiday Inn Suites. That's where we stay when we're on the road. Come join us. Back in Missoula, Montana. Ron Davis, Gene McNulty King, 6:24 to go in this one. Gonzaga up by 1 over the Montana Grizz, and the Grizz have the basketball. And right now, Gene, the Grizzlies have Dan Trammell on the bench, and he's leading the team with 14 points.
Hopefully just a little breather for him.
Greenwald's going to fire a 3. He hasn't shot one yet tonight, and he misses. Now we know why not. Calvary on the quick release. Slam dunk it.
Number 5.
And he has 23. And the fans here say he's hanging on the rim. Well, hey, he's way above it. And he's really the only...
You can hang on the rim if it's for your own safety to gather so that you don't get hurt.
The one thing is he has 23 points. No one else from Gonzaga in double digits yet. You do have, with 9 points, you have one of the Bankhead, but that's it. So the Grizzlies out to Christensen for 3. Count it. So Shane Christensen gets 3 and now has 4 in the ball game. It's back to a tie ball game.
We got a barn burner.
The fans are making noise here in Missoula. At Dahlberg Arena as the Gonzaga zags the Bulldogs. Trying to get some points here. Casey Calvary. He could pop the 3 if he wanted to, but instead he passed off to Gore.
Takes a peek at the shot clock. Says we'll hold on a little while.
Calvary gets it back again, looking at the shot clock. Now he goes inside. No. We got a foul on the ground before he starts to go to the bucket.
Drive.
Here's Calvary, and what's this, Gene? How many did you count now?
5.
Watch this. Long pass. He releases. You're dead.
And I guess when a player's that good, it's the only thing you can complain about is he's hanging on the rim. 15 points in the second half.
You know, and the thing about that is if you notice, his eyebrows were on the rim. I mean, he was that high in the air. The man can sky. Gonzaga brings it in. Gord down underneath. We're going to have a foul. Gord won't get it to go, but he is fouled. Quick whistle. Officials calling this one kind of tight.
Here you get another look, and I think, again, if Greenwald goes straight up and doesn't lean in, holds his ground, it's kind of a not so sure about that one.
That's 3 on Greenwald. And at the line is Zach Gord. And Gord will be shooting. And it's up and good. So Gord gets his 5th point of the ball game. You know, that's one thing when you look at the averages for this Gonzaga team. You have a couple of guys that average pretty high, but the bulk of the team will average 6, 7, 8 points a game. Gord's one of those. As he knocks this one down, he has 6. And it's back to a 2-point lead for Gonzaga with under 5 minutes to play here in the Wells Fargo Holiday Challenge.
You know, one of Coach Holt's problems with this team, or one of his critiques of it, is they're not consistent. And I'm sure he wasn't sure with that inconsistency what's going to come out tonight. He's got to be pleased as heck with the ball game that they're giving the Zags.
You've really seen a Montana team come out and find really what kind of team they are. Trammell down underneath, puts it up, won't go, but a good job by Allred. Allred on the rebound, puts it back out, and they're going to say no, foul down on the floor. But Allred went in there, fought hard, and I believe Reason's going to catch him on the arm.
And you know, the post play inside is got to be a nice, not a big surprise, I don't want to say, but they were really looking for one of their recruits to come in and have a big impact. Jeremy Day, a 6'10" transfer from Tyler, and right off he hurt his back and had to end his career soon. So to see the post at Montana come in and play this good has got to be encouraging for Coach Holtz.
By the way, we got a foul before we can even get things happening. That's team foul number 7 on Gonzaga. So Gonzaga is number 7, and the Grizzlies will go to the line. The Grizzlies only 3 team fouls, so they've got quite a few to give, Gene. And a guy at the line that you don't like to put there because he's an 82% shooter is Buckmaster, and he hasn't been there yet. But he averages 82 from the line, and he knocks this one home.
And a pretty quiet night for Buckmaster as that's his 7th point. Only 2 rebounds, but they've really dispersed it. It's everybody's contributed tonight, not one single hero.
He averages 17, so for him tonight, it's almost like they're really now they're going to talk it over and say, guys, let's slow down, let's play basketball here.
And again, one of the Zags, goals was to shut Buckmaster down, so that's one of the focus. And when you do focus on your star player, obviously everyone else has to step up, and the Grizz have done that tonight.
Buckmaster ties the game back up at 61. Steph brings it down. He's going to set it up. And Gonzaga trying to get the lead back. Gord takes it inside. The shot won't go. Rebound. Grizzlies. Slider. And the Grizz, with 4 minutes to go, looking to take the lead. They got to be pretty pleased with what they've seen tonight from Montana. Finding their identity, I guess, Gene.
Well, and some big players left the team from last year, especially in Matt Williams, first team All-League, the leader in both scoring and rebounding. And what a beautiful shot.
Dan Trammell, 12 points in the second half, and the Grizzlies have the lead by 2.
And you wonder who's going to come in and fill someone's shoes like Matt Williams, and I think we're seeing it tonight.
Well, they expected Dan Trammell to be that man, and he's done it here tonight. 16 points. Here's Calvary for 3, and that'll shut down the Grizzly fans as he has his 4th three-pointer. And he has basically had a career here in the second half, Gene.
I'm not sure you want to leave him open.
Anywhere on the floor. He has 18 in the second half alone. They try to pass off to Greenwald. Passes out of his reach, out of bounds, and a timeout on the floor. So Gonzaga out in front on the 3 by Cavalry, 64-63. We'll be back in Missoula with 3:18 to play after this.
Does your dream home have a mountain view or a lake view? your child follow in your footsteps or find her own way? How far can you go on your own? Dreaming is the first stage. Wells Fargo. The next stage.
Bad cheetah. See? That's why I'm not a cat person.
The game is brought to you in part by the Montana Standard and the Missoulian, the Bozeman Daily Chronicle, and the Havre Daily News. They all bring you tonight's action, and we're proud to bring it to you from the Dahlberg Arena in Missoula, Montana. Ron Davis, Gene McNulty King on the Wells Fargo Holiday Challenge. Game number 3, slam dunk, Casey Calvary, number 6. Oh, that was set up on the bench, Gene. They had him fed all the way. He now has 28 points in the ballgame.
12 for 17 from the floor.
Boy,
6 rebounds.
Huge.
He's had an all right game.
Yeah, pretty much. 28 points. And his team's up by 3. Montana, 2:43, working it around. Trammell. He's going to put it up and down on the paint. Won't go. Rebound coming out to Mark Spink. And Gonzaga now trying to spread it out a little bit. Long pass. Reason. Didn't know where he was. Bounced off ball and rim, but a foul on the Grizzlies. Watch this, Elliot. This way they start the timeout.
And again, defensively, you got to know where Calvary is on the floor.
Always got to know where he is. And we're going to have a foul called on the Grizzlies. And going to the line will be Reason.
Like you said, Reason didn't know where he was on the floor, and Montana bailed him out by fouling him on that shot.
He's 0 for 1 from the line. 1 for 2 as he knocks it down. The Gonzaga Bulldogs jump up by 4, and looking to make it 5 as Buckmaster will go to the bench. That's team foul number 4 on the Grizzlies, so they have a few more to give yet. Maybe too many if you're trailing and need to foul here in the last 2 minutes. Reason in and out, won't go, but a good rebound underneath by Spink. And it comes back out, and I guarantee you the Bulldogs will use the full shot clock here, Chief. Bankhead, who's dangerous for 3. Calvary.
Again, what set that whole last play up is the Grizzlies not hustling back on defense and getting beat to the bucket.
Steps going to fire the 3. It won't go, but the rebound comes out of Gonzaga, and again, Spink knocks it out. He's had 2 big boards down here in the 2-minute mark that his team needed.
And this is a time, again, where you want to make sure you do the fundamentals. You want to make sure that you're blocking out. You're going to get that rebound, and they've got 2 in a row now.
Pass goes inside for Calvary. Knocked away by Trammell, but it comes away with Bankhead. So no change of possession, so the shot clock down to 9 seconds. 8 seconds. And a foul as the Grizzlies come in, and really they only had 5 seconds on the shot clock, and I don't think Steph was aware of it. And the Grizzlies want a timeout. So Greenwald had the foul, and they got the timeout, and here's where you see it. There's 5 seconds on the shot clock, and he comes out, and it didn't look like Steph was looking to shoot or anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure, and I think Greenwald was a little surprised with picking up that foul.
And that'll be his 4th, so they got to watch that. But with 1:39 left to play here, Gonzaga now with a little bit of a gap at 67-63. Their biggest lead, 8 points. A lot of people out there have to be a little surprised by this ball game here tonight.
Yeah, I don't think many people expected this one to go to the wire. In fact, I know that I was hoping for a little downtime because I heard in the last game that was done in Helena that I was trashed a little bit by my coworkers.
Now I wasn't there, so I missed that.
Mr. Joe McClafferty.
Oh, the guy with the hairpiece.
The guy with the hairpiece.
Oh, okay.
And you know, I did ask you for a little dirt on him so I could share it with the state, and you said you don't have any dirt on him that could be shared.
No, this
Nothing
is a family,
that could actually
Omega TV's family
go on
TV.
air.
So.
I do want to tell both of them, however, that Marty Leibenguth is a great ball player, been around for a long time, and they could at least pronounce her name Leibenguth and not Liebenguth.
Well, there you go. You got one in on him. Back in action, Gonzaga. Out in front and with the basketball, trying to use that clock up. Casey Calvary with it. He's had a great night, 28 points. The only Zag in double digits.
And I'll tell you that foul, Ron, was a pretty hurtful foul, and that there was only 5 seconds left on the shot clock. They're not in the bonus, so all it did is give them a brand new shot clock, and they were able to run off 35 more seconds.
And here goes Stepp as he has the ball knocked away from behind by Keys. But with 4 seconds on the shot clock, Gonzaga will have it underneath their own hoop. And Gonzaga needs to get it in and get the pop right here. And they're using all the shot clock they want. Now Gonzaga wants a short timeout. So the Zags are going to take the timeout.
Set up another alley-oop?
I think you might. So they take the timeout, 1:07 left to go here. Plenty of time for the Grizzlies. No time to panic. But what they've got to do is get the ball back quick.
They do. They need to play good D here on these 4 seconds. They got to come down and not throw up a silly shot. They need to really work it around, get a good solid, good chance at the bucket, and then play defense.
And, you know, they really have plenty of time to get a good shot off and get shot selection. And they've been known to hit a few threes here tonight, too, as they have, let's see, I count 5, 6 threes for Montana. So,
and, you know, you got to look at it. A game this intense, this big of a game, Montana only has 8 turnovers in the ball game, and Gonzaga only 10. So it's been a very clean, well-fought battle.
I think the big deal is in this game, though, is on blocks. Casey Calvary with 4 big blocks, and there you see that man right there. Again, he's up for the John Gooden Award. He's one of the top 50 college basketball players in the country. And, boy, he had a night tonight with 28 points there. They'll go to the shot clock in the right corner, 4 seconds. They're trying to get it in bounce, They get it into Reason. Reason right back to Stepp. Back out top. Reason for 3. Count it. Big bucket.
Big bucket.
And
you know,
I don't believe he's the man they wanted to take that.
They just didn't panic at all. I mean, I was panicking, thinking shot clock's running out, and they just took their time and got the good shot and drained it.
Anthony Reason with the 3, and the Grizzlies now looking to do something. Buckmaster pops up. He's going to fire the 3 and count it.
There's a big bucket right back.
Buckmaster for 3. I don't think there's any doubt who the player of the game was. So the Grizzlies get 3 by Buckmaster.
Here you see the way outside the arc.
I got to think that Buckmaster
right
hit a big here.
You.
And that brought his team back to 4 points, about 40 seconds left. You got to go out and foul, and you got 2 or 3 more fouls to give. So it makes it tough.
You hope, obviously, you hope for the steal. You hope of those 3 fouls that one of them might be a steal.
Well, and that's the biggest thing right now for Montana. And right now, Gonzaga in the driver's seat. Coach Few's over there. They're pointing fingers saying who's taking the shot, who's touching the ball, because they know who their best free throw shooters are, and they're trying to make sure they're the guys with them. Gina, great basketball game here tonight. Just as the last time these two teams met, we really did have a good game. The score was a little bit more lopsided in favor of Gonzaga.
And Montana was, I mean, they're still absolutely in the game, but until 2 minutes to go, it was, either way, it was, tied up.
Right away, a foul is going to be called on on Slider. Now, is that going to be, is that 7? They're going to give them the 1-on-1. I thought they had 1 more to give. So Slider picks it up, so that'll be Slider's 3rd. And at the line will be Reason. And the last time he was here, he's 1 for 3 altogether, 1 for 2 last time. But just hit that big 3. Get a good look at Anthony Reason from Ocala, Florida. Knocks it home. And he's coming to play this evening, the 6'5 junior transfer. He's one of those transfer guys, and they're really excited about the way he skies. They like the way he gets into the air. Rims it out. Grizzlies come away with it. They got to go quicker. They only have 37 seconds left. Down by 5. Keys tries to set it up. Again, they're trying to bring Buckmaster off, and this time they were ready for it. Bankhead knew the play. Same play they ran last time. He cheated through, Gene, and got himself in position.
That's where you have to don't necessarily have to follow the play if it's not there. You can't force it and make it happen. You have to deviate from that a bit. There you're going to see it. And I think Keys, he held on to it a little bit too long. Someone's got to get themselves open. And Gonzaga's too smart of a ball club to know. They just got burned on that play last time. It's not going to happen again.
Foul on Buckmaster, and that will be Buckmaster's first personal on my book. And let's see, actually he has 2. But now going to the line will be Gonzaga. And with 28 seconds left, they hit a couple free throws here, and I think you break the back of the Grizzlies.
Smart play, though, to foul them that quick before any time can go off, hoping that they miss the free throw, come down and get a shot off.
Now, for the fans are starting to empty out of the stands here at Dahlberg Arena, but you got to be pretty excited. If you're the Montana Grizzlies, you played a team of the caliber of Gonzaga, and you played them tough. And I think they found their identity here tonight, and I think it's going to be big for Montana down the stretch.
No question. A lot of players stepped up and showed what they're made of, and it's early in the season, and people are establishing their roles. You know, each player's, so-and-so is going to be the go-to player. He's going to be the player, and they're establishing that. It's still early.
Now for Gonzaga, you come in here, are you looking past Montana? You have Boise. Actually, I think Montana's played them very tough, but Gonzaga is just kind of one of those, okay, guys, we got to get it together as a team, and we've got to work a little better from here.
Real good gut check for Gonzaga, and I don't think they're obviously not in the same role as Montana. I don't think they really need to establish their go-to player. What do you think?
I think we know who he is. A guy by the name of Casey Cavalry, 28 points in this ball game, 6 slam dunks, 4 block shots.
And what's more, 28 points, but 12 for 17 from the floor.
And how many threes? 3 threes in that? 4 threes in that. I mean, 12 of 17.
5 or 6 slams. They're pretty good, pretty high percentage on the slams, however. That kind of helps the shooting percentage.
Yeah, it brings it up big time. And at the line, a man you don't want to foul, and Bankhead, this youngster can shoot it up. He has 3 threes in the ball game. He'll be shooting a one-on-one from the line. Knocks it all down. And pretty much with this one will seal the win for Gonzaga. But a great basketball game we got to enjoy here tonight with two teams that really are kind of getting their legs under them. And they've got a lot to go. The Grizzlies at 3-2, Gonzaga at 4-1.
There you see Dan Trammell just came out of the game, and what a ball game he played.
Oh boy, he's had a wonderful night. Both fouls are up and in by Bankhead, and it's 73-66. Keys brings it down right away. Shakes and bakes over to Buckmaster. Inside Greenwald. Greenwald's turnaround, counter for 2. And when everybody expected him to be outside, they go inside. And Greenwald's had a great night tonight, kind of quiet. 17 points, he averages 13. So they show him with 15 points on the official board, but he's done a good job here tonight.
He has played very well, and that's a beautiful shot. He just had that little sky hook, pretty unstoppable.
Bankhead back down the line. He just went 2 for 2 there. He'll go down again. And he's 3 for 3, and I just don't think this guy knows how to miss from the free throw line. And coming in is Shane Christensen. As Slider takes a bench. 20 seconds left to go, 74-68. Gonzaga and the Grizzlies and Coach Holst, they're going to play till that last tick on the clock. And now Bankhead joining Casey Calvary in double digits with 13. Right away, Keys come down off to Christensen for 3. Off the mark. Rebounds coming down to Reason. Gonzaga has it, and a foul going to be called over there on Pedersen. So Pedersen will pick up the foul, and right now with 9 seconds left, Gonzaga will walk out of here with a victory. But I think both teams win tonight.
Great game, and like I said, with 2 minutes to go, it was anybody's ball game. And a lot of times the team will come in and beat down the first half, a team like Gonzaga. Didn't give enough credit to Montana, but then they come out at the beginning of the second half and they just walk away with it. This didn't happen tonight. Montana hung strong, and we had a great ball game. Anybody's game up until the last 2 minutes.
And they played very good hoop on both ends of the floor, some great defense. The big slam dunks, but I think Casey Calvary definitely the difference in this ball game with his 28 points, 12 of 17 from the floor. I mean, this young man can play some basketball. Christian inside Greenwald, and he's going to be blocked from behind by Spink. But Spink's going to get whistled for the foul. And with 0.9 seconds to go, you didn't want that, but they're all laughing and smiling now.
They got the big W on their way to Boise.
They head to Boise, then the next week they are Florida and at Wisconsin Green Bay. So a lot of road tripping. And here you'll see the block and the foul. Over the back, right there, got him with the body. So Greenwald trying to add to his 15. And he's off the rim. He will shoot 2. And for the Montana Grizzlies, they have Idaho next Thursday, and we'll have that game as well here from Dahlberg Arena as the Grizz will take on Idaho in the 4th game of our Wells Fargo Holiday Challenge.
And Ron, I'll be down in sunny Orlando, but I'll be thinking of you.
That's good. That's good. That's a ball game. We've got the final. It's Gonzaga 77-69. We'll be back with the Wayland Tire post-game report after this timeout.
All of our stores are in business to solve your transportation problems, but that may not mean a new set of tires. For example, you may have half tread left on your current tires, and your application is moderate. Heck, you may not even need a set of tires for 2 or 3 years. Or perhaps your SUV application requires a substantial 6-ply tire. We will never sell you a cheaper 4-ply tire. For you, that's dangerous. In Montana, it's Wayland Tire. Safety, quality, service.
The only word shouted more loudly than gold during the early years of the Montana frontier was fire. In mining camps like Last Chance Gulch, later to become Helena, fire was a constant danger. Several major fires struck the camp, and in 1874 a substantial tower was built at a cost of $100. A newspaper article at the time stated, "The building, when completed, will be an ornament to the city as well as indispensable to our safety." The tower and its 4-foot alarm bell became known as the Guardian of the Gulch. The 1935 Helena earthquake severely damaged the tower, but it also awakened community sentiment to save it for posterity. In 1972, the Guardian was placed on the National Register of Historic Places. In 1990, the Helena Seroptimus grant from the Montana Historical Society began a major restoration of the tower and secured its place in history.
You're in control with In Demand on AT&T Digital. Pay-per-view for the demanding viewer. You rule.
Life here is filled with warmth. At the Montana Power Company, we deliver efficient, comfortable natural gas. All to help make your life a little warmer. Make the smart choice. Connect to natural gas.
The postgame show is brought to you in part by Wayland Tire. Service first, quality always. Throughout Montana, it's Wayland Tire. And to start the Wayland Tire postgame show, let's go over to Gene McNulty King with our winning coach and Casey Calvary.
Thanks, Ron. Joining me, Coach Few and Casey Calvary. You know, Coach, 2 minutes to go in the game. It was still anybody's ball game.
Oh, no question. I mean, it went down to the wire. And again, the best thing that I liked out there was we showed tremendous poise. I thought that last 4 minutes. With the crowd going crazy and Montana playing pretty darn well, we were able to execute some nice plays down the stretch, mainly to this guy here, and get the ball where we needed to.
You know, a lot of times you can come out, you're a ranked team, and you might be a little flat first half against Montana. Do you attribute it to that or maybe missing a player?
No, I don't. I mean, I was worried coming over here. We had a big emotional win over Washington that might be the case. But Montana's a quality opponent that won the Big Sky last year. Their coaches do a great job. So we knew what we were in for. I had this earmarked as a tough game all year. And, I mean, that was just, they did a great job scouting us and took us out of some things.
Great. And Casey, great game. The obvious player of the game, you had 28 points, maybe 6 or 7 slam dunks, 4 blocks. It almost seems like you score at will.
That's definitely not the case, or I have a lot more every game. They ran some real tough stuff at us today in terms of their defense. They sagged off us and double-teamed us in the post, and it actually made it pretty difficult at times.
Great. You know, you guys have a great future. It's a fun game to watch, and best of luck to you.
All right, thank you.
Back to you, Ron.
Thanks, Gene, and we had some great action by Casey Calvary as he just played a great ball game. We'll watch him here. First, you'll see him get the big ball underneath, and he slams it home. That's his first slam, and there was about 5 more to come. And then outside, when he had to, he could do it. And here he goes back inside, working hard, gets the shot there. This man could do it all tonight, and he hit the threes and hit it all for the Gonzaga Bulldogs. And Casey Calvary, our player of the game, 28 points in this ball game, 12 of 17 from the field. He did it all, 4 for 7, 3-point range. He was perfect. He just did it all tonight. And we're just getting ready to wrap her up here, but here's a 3 from Casey Calvary as he drains it from downtown and gets it to go. And, Gene, we saw a great game here tonight as Montana and Gonzaga both played very well in the 77-69 game, but I was very interested in what Coach Few had to say about the fact that he had this down as a tough game all year long, because you come here, Montana scraps with you.
Yes, they do, and he, give all the credit to Montana as he did. What I was getting at, he said earlier that one game down, 3 to go. He's really missing his player in Dan Dickow. He said, great player. He helped us out a ton, and having him hurt and on the bench is tough for them. But like he said, 1 down, 3 to go.
And that's the big thing for them right now is to get that man back on their squad, and with a tough road schedule for them. For Montana.